Hello and welcome to my switch from Canon to Sony. Well, this won't be just a merely switch and that's it. I'm also trying to do some sort of series of, I have no idea yet, my progress with the Sony camera because you saw many photographers made a video about switching from Canon or Nikon to Sony, and kinda that's it. But I'm trying to make a series, maybe, like I said, my thoughts about the Sony and how I will use it, so that for you out there, if you're trying to switch to Sony, to make it a little bit more easier for your switch, because the Sony is kind of how can I say it, totally something else, because its menu, it's all over the place. I still not got used to it, and the body itself, to kind of find out how it is. Maybe for you the grip is not good or something else. So yeah, I'm going to show you my switch. Well, for now I will say something about ergonomics, how it is the camera, and kinda that's it. Not that the functionality of the camera and so on. I will do that in another video because I think it will get a lot more time. So first of all, let's say about the camera. Well, how you can see it, the 5D Mark III with a grip, it's a heavy camera and a big one. And also Sony A7R4 without the grip, it's kinda very little, the camera, and kinda easy to hold. Also, of course, and the Canon, it's I will say that it's way much easier to hold the Canon and not the Sony, but this Canon is with grip. What I found out is after using the Sony a lot more time, and of course this Canon, let's close it up because it was open. Let's take the grip off, and I'm going to show you a little bit better. As you can see, this grip is very used, and also the camera. As you can see, it's pretty very good to hold even without the grip, but I do sometimes find also that without the grip it's kind of not that comfortable to hold up, because as you can see, sometimes my pinky gets freely, and it's not that hard. I also can do it, but I don't find that very comfortable to find with the shutter, so I do hold it much more like this, and as you can see, it's kinda close to the edge, my pinky, and it's not that very good to hold the camera without the grip, but it also has a good ergonomic. I don't find that very bad, but with the grip I can hold it very good, this camera. As you can see, my pinky gets around here. I hope you can see it very good. Around here. Here is my good grip for the camera. And with the button of the shutter, I can find it very steady. Of course, it's very balanced. That you know already. Most of the camera are right now, so that's not a big of deal. But let's go with the Sony. Sony, without the grip, I can hold it like the Canon with the grip. My pinky doesn't get a lot around the edge. Sometimes it does, but I don't find that very big of a problem, because the shutter button is up there, and you can have your finger index, how you call it, up there, so it won't be like this and you have the fingers cramped like you have it with a Canon. It's around on the edge somehow. I do find it very good, this shutter button, but let's say about this. Now, it's not that a big of a problem, because it's kind of chunky like this up here, it does find yourself a pretty good grip. And I find it is pretty easy to press the shutter button without a problem. I have nothing to say about this ergonomics. One thing, if they did it more better, is this surround about here. I find it's way too small, and the finger is kinda up there, and kinda sometimes hurts my bone around here, because it's not that round. I don't know, it's kinda chunky. It's like a square. On the Canon, as you can see, it's more rounded, and it's not that very big ground. So when you hold it through here, it won't be a problem, or I have no idea how to say it very better, but I find it way more good on Canon than on Sony. But yeah, as you can see, even I know it's like how can I say it? It's something that your finger gets crushed. You put it in somewhere and it's kind of crushed, like a mangan or something, a crush bone or something. I have no idea how to compare it right now, but it feels like something like this. Now I don't really found a big problem, but do sometimes it bothers me a lot, because it's not that very comfortable to hold, because most of the time you hold the camera with this middle finger, and yeah, here is the big support around here. But yeah, I can hold this camera very nice with one hand, shoot it with one hand, and be very stabilized. I don't have a big of a complaint. I can also do it with Canon, but after a while I get very tired and start to tremble, something like that. But with this, I can stay for a very long time and not get very tired. Okay, now let's talk about the LCD. As you can see, it's a tilt LCD, which is very nice, and like this. Yeah, I find it, I don't know, I don't really use that much. I also used a camera that has a flip screen. You go it from the side and do it like that. I'm not very used to it, because most of the time I shot it with a fixed screen, and like this I got a lot used to it. I do find sometimes I shot with a camera that has a flip screen, and my composition got a pretty off a little bit, because I was used to have a fixed screen, sensor is like the lens right there, and I know the plane of the shot. With the flip screen I kinda missed out sometimes, and with this I don't find that a big of a problem. It's kinda nice to use it sometimes, but I also find sometimes that on a fast moving shot it's kinda in the way, and if I want to, I'm with the camera more down and I want to switch the camera fast up, I have to flip the screen like 2 times and get the hold of the camera so that I will be steady. At least more for the video. For photo it kind of works, because I do sometimes use with a viewfinder, and sometimes the LCD screen, depends on the type of the day. But yeah, it doesn't bother me, even if it was a fixed screen. I know that most of the people want a flip out screen. I don't really care about that, because I got used to it like this, and also even with the vlogs I got used to this with a fixed screen like this. I was holding the camera, I knew my plane of shot, everything, and even with manual focus, this has autofocus for video, and a pretty good one. And yeah, I don't have a big of a problem with that. Now the buttons, let's see, here you have on a Canon, let's go with the Canon first. Here you have the Canon. You can switch the custom AV, TV, which AV is for aperture, TV for shutter, program, and so on. You also have with the lock, as you can see, you have to hold the lock and switch it, release it, and it's locked, and so on. Here you can have some buttons very fast to customize your settings, and also like this. Now I find very good the buttons from the Canon. Around here, every button I found it very nice placed, and yeah, I don't have any complaint about any of this. Even with the video, you just switch it and you shoot it with video. Yeah, I don't know, the setting for it has only one setting for the shutter, but it's very easy to change the aperture and the ISO. I set the aperture is the wheel, which you can set it fast, and the ISO I set it to press the set, and after that change with the shutter wheel, which I find it very easy to use and not a problem. Now let's talk about the Sony camera. So Sony has multiple wheels, everyone for a different customization. So this one is the wheel for the aperture, you can change it from here. This one is the wheel from the shutter, and the wheel, basic wheel like the Canon, and I think even the Nikon has it. But yeah, what I found out very nice, I shot even with the Nikon, which does, even the Nikon has two wheels for aperture and shutter, and it does have it like almost like the Canon, and the shutter wheel is around here. I do find out sometimes that I was missing that wheel on the Canon also, but not that much. And this one it does have it like this, the shutter, which as you can see I can change it, but with one hand, but I kind of find out I can change it with a risk with one hand, because I kind of lose the grip from the camera. Now if it did had like the Canon had the wheel like this, or somehow the shutter, I can really change it with one hand without a problem, even without the grip from the Canon. But yeah, I don't know, I don't really find myself very good with this type of setup, because as you can see the camera is kind of somehow like a box, a long box like this. How can I, yeah, a box and another box around here, somehow a little choppy like a Cybertruck. But it's not that refined like as you can see from the Canon. It's not really a fixed box like this. As you can see, it has bumps, rounds around it. It's not straight on edges like the Sony camera. But I don't really find that very big of a problem. But I also wanted, I don't know, the grip a little better made, because it's not that very easy to change it with one hand if you want to use it, because this kind of camera it's kind of made to use it with one hand and have fun. But of course, for better stability, use just two hands like you use it from DSLR. But it's I find that it's very easy to turn this button. It has not a big clicks like Canon, as you can, if you can hear it. As you can hear it, big solid clicks from the wheel. But from the Sony it's kind of subtle. I don't know if you... I hope you can hear it. The aperture wheel is a little bit louder. Of course, my thoughts is they made it this silence because the camera also you can use it in a silent mode. I don't find that big of a problem. It's very nice to turn the wheel, and also you kind of know when you turn it and how much. I still not used to it on how many stops I turn in one time. With Canon I'm used to it. I know that I turn it by about just one stop. Here is just one stop, one stop, one stop. Now on Sony camera I don't know if it's one stop or not, and I don't understand this wheel, which is, why do you need a compensation wheel for the camera? I never use how can I say, program auto or something else, but yeah, some people do use it, and that works very fine for them. I never use it, and I do not understand this. I don't know. I find it way more easier to change it from the menu of the camera, or the compensation, or if the Sony is very customizable, you could also choose it with a button. Let's say C1, hold C1, turn the wheel, and you have +1 stop compensation. This one, I think it should be used for a better function. I find it very useless. But yeah, it's maybe just me. And also 2 clicks, yeah. I don't really care about that. I never use it. With this mode changes, yeah, it's very simple, like the Canon. Hold it and change it. It's very easy to do it, even though it's very cramped in a single area like this. It's big, has a good grip, and you won't find a hard way to switch the modes. I find it very easy to switch. Sometimes maybe reverse like this I find it a little bit harder to use, but no, it's not that very big of a problem. Let's say manual, you wanted to switch movie, as you can see, you can switch it, not very fast, but you can. It's more easier on Canon to switch, as you can see, because it's single button. You use it with the left hand. Okay, as you can see, you have you can switch from almost an entire mode without a very big of a problem. But with Sony, I think it will be way more easier if they put a button around here, this one around here, because as you can see, this one is very empty. But yeah, it has a lot of customizable buttons, and I think it would be nice. They made a big grip around here, so that your hand is very around the camera, so you have a big of a grip. Canon, it's a lot more smaller, but you can hold it very nice. With this, even with this, you can hold it very good without a problem. Maybe some people with smaller hands or bigger hands, I have no idea, will have a little bit of a problem, but I don't think so. Yeah, with Canon you can have a button around here. I don't think you can see it very good. It's around here, but most of the people know. It's an aperture button when you buy the camera and don't have the customizable, but you can change it on however you like. I set on mine with the servo and single focus. Servo for Canon is continuous focus for the Sony. And yeah, I can change it whenever I want. I press the button, I have a servo and shoot. I don't want servo, I release the button, and it's very fast. On Sony I did not find that option to have, which I kind of miss it because I did use it a lot. So yeah, with Sony you have, I do like this type of releases. You have like this the types HDMI, microphone and headphones, which is very nice. Okay, around here you have a micro SD and type C. I hope you can see it. I don't know why did they include a micro SD, but a micro SD, micro charger, something like that. And right here you have yeah, this one is for the flash sync, which every camera kind of has it. Right now with the transmitter I don't think it does really need this type of option in the camera. Around here you have the cards. I do like this release a lot. It's very nice. It's how do I say it? It's automatic. You don't have to let's say when you open it, you don't have to press and open it like this. It's automatically like the Canon also. I do like this feature a lot. Now because the Sony is kind of small, they made it very small, the body, there is some problems with it. First of all, when you try to use the flip screen, some sort like this, you can see it that sometimes I have a problem changing the focus using the joystick, because my finger is stuck on the LCD around here. If it's fixed, I have no problems, but when it's close to this, even like this, I have a big problem, and even like this. So yeah, like this, as you can see, there is no problem. You can see it very good, but yeah, I do not like it. Like this is very distracting. I mean, you cannot barely use it. It's very hard to use it, and I don't really like it at all. And the second is the cards taken off. As you can see, easy is like this, but it's because the door is so small. If they made it a little bit further, it was much easier. But like this, you see, I have to cramp my finger around it so that I can take. Sometimes I can take it with very hard, and I try not to. I mean, I'm thinking I'm not going to break the card or something. As you can see, it's not. As you saw, I barely took it. And of course, someone with bigger fingers will have a harder time to do it. You have to be very gentle to take it. Yeah, those things I do not like it. And I show you on the Canon. Here it is. The Canon has a big gap. Very easy to take the card with, as you can see, there's a lot of space. Take one card out, and with this, very easy. You don't have to struggle to take the card off or something else. Pretty easy, and even with the CF compact flash, man, it's old. What I do not like it from the Sony is the release door. Like this, it's released, and you can open the battery, put it back on, but when you put it back on, as you can see, it's not closed. You have to manually close. I do hate that option a lot, because on the Canon, of course, it's with the grip. You have that option. I don't think I have the door around here, but yeah, it's like this. It's way more easier with the Canon, but yeah, the Canon has that option, like the card door open. I would like to have on Sony also when you open the door to close it automatically, because it's way more faster to change the battery in a situation if you have it automatically close the door. But yeah, well, I think I do like the lens. I wish that it was more smooth, how do I mean, more easier. As you can see, I have to put a lot of pressure, and even that I cannot turn the lens. On Canon it's way more easier to turn the lens. As you can see, I don't have to put a lot of pressure. With just one finger I can change the zoom, but I don't really find sometimes that big of a problem. It also has the lock, but I never used it, even on the Canon. It's also great that you can have a customized button on the lens if you want to shoot. You want to change the settings or something. Also, I do not like this flippy thingy where you wanna put the strap on. Why didn't they choose like the Canon to have it something like this, or I don't know, maybe this one not the hanger one, this type of thing, maybe a little bit bigger, and it was very good. But also I'm going to show you how to remove it, this one, without cutting or doing something else. Well, I hope you can see it very good. First of all, you need to remove this black one. For the removal, you need to just remove it like this. Put it around the edge. It's a little bit hard, but it's a plastic, a very strong plastic. As you can see, I did remove it. So now you can remove it. As you can see, it does have like a keychain or something. You just make it like this, and that's it. It's removed, and you don't have to have that sound like that. As you can see, if they did make this a little bit larger, it would be a greater one to hang. So yeah, you won't have this sound. Well, kinda that's it with this type of introduction. What I found myself with the Sony camera. I think this video is kinda long, so I will do another video with the functionality of the camera, between how I find myself the function between the Canon and Sony, and I'm going to show you how I customize my camera and how I wanna use it. I still sometimes find myself that I need something to change, and I find myself very hard to find that setting, so I will leave it on the shoot. But yeah, it's very customizable, the camera. And sometimes I did want to have some more customizable on the camera, but it's good enough. Yeah, that's it with this. I hope you find this useful, and I will see you on the next video. Until then, do subscribe to my channel to see more content with this and other things that I do, and do like this video and share with anyone interested on maybe switching, or maybe you wanna switch the system and find this video useful for you, and maybe you know someone else that might be interested in this type of content. Okay, well, until next time, have a good one, and see you next time. Bye bye.